Hi everyone, it's Shelley Robson from the Quilted Forest. I'm putting together a project to quilt on the quilting machine, and I needed a batting that was big enough for this project. When I went through my batting scraps, I didn't quite have a piece that was big enough, but I had two pieces that, if you put them together, would be big enough. So here's the two pieces that I'm going to use to put them together. So I wanted to show you a couple ways that I put those together so that they lay flat when they're in the quilt. The one thing you want to make sure you do is you want to make sure you have straight edges. So you got to make sure that these are nice and straight. You can straighten them with your cutting mat and ruler. And then what you're going to do is you're going to butt them up next to each other, and you're going to zigzag them together. You want to use thread that matches your project or the batting that you're using. So this piece I did with purple thread so that you can see how I've just zigzagged it together. It doesn't have any bumpiness anymore because it doesn't have a seam. It's just butt up next to each other. So if you put a seam in it, even if you ironed the seam flat, you would still have quite a big bump when you put the batting pieces together. So I recommend zigzagging those pieces together. I've actually zigzagged enough pieces left over from other projects to do a king-size quilt. So when you zigzag it, here it is. I did this piece, I did it with the white thread so you can barely see it in there. And the nice thing is, if you use the right color thread, even when you look through a piece of fabric, you're not going to see the line underneath. It's going to be nice and flat. Another way that you can put batting pieces together is to use a fusible tape. This one is called Marty's Choice Fusible Tape from Marty Michelle. There's a couple different sizes. There's a 1-inch size, so it's that wide. And then there's a 2-inch roll. There's also another product called Heat Press. It's the same kind of product, just a different manufacturer. They're very similar. And what you do is you just take the tape, and you're going to take it and put it across where you've got those pieces nested up to each other, so they're not overlapping, they're just touching, and then you're going to iron that into place. One side of this is a fusible, so it's got the little dots, and you can feel which side is fusible, so you don't want to put that side next to your iron. But you can fuse your pieces together, and again, I've done a quilt up to king size to get with enough pieces so that I could get to a king size. So don't throw away those pieces of batting. You need to save those, ladies. And the quilt that I am working on is from the Lucky Charm Quilts book called Spring Mosaic, and we use the Liberty Lane charm pack. So if you have any questions, make sure to call us, 641-585-2438. Have a great day. Happy quilting.